Coronavirus is sweeping the world and affecting many people at a time. News media has played a big role of spreading awareness and fear about the virus. They have affected how people also think about the Asian culture. The news articles use a lot of language and textual features to persuade the reader into believing the virus is more deadly than it is. Visual structures are also a key element used across online articles to create instant impact that the coronavirus will affect 99% of people as long as they are careful with their hygiene. This creates fear in the reader and ensures they are continuously maintaining good hygiene. The newspaper article Virus Rescue Mission uses language features purposefully to disempower coronavirus. The news has used language features such as deadly, lethal, trapped, isolated, vulnerable to create panic in the reader. The article claims that there are more than 6,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and 132 deaths. The statistic was placed at the start of the article so that when the audience reads it, they are immediately interested and scared and continue to read in order to find more information. The most salient item in the article is the title, Virus Rescue Mission. The use of capital letters and bold text automatically engages the reader. It says rescue mission, which would suggest that people are in great danger and need rescuing. The fear-mongering would have a massive impact on the Chinese economy due to the lack of tourism and trade in and out of the country. Australia is also heavily impacted by the lack of Chinese tourists in our country, as well as mass hysteria surrounding the lack of resources. In our grocery stores. In the article, there are no images to support the lack of images may obstruct the success of the article, as readers may not be inclined to skim over the newspaper while focusing on news articles that are eye-catching and contain images. The article stated that there is a closing window for a cure to be found before the coronavirus becomes worse. However, there is no evidence to prove that this is true. The lack of evidence supports the argument that news media articles only have one agenda: to get clicks. Regardless of whether the statement made are true, this newspaper article manipulates the Australian public into believing they're in great danger by using language features, text structures, as well as statistics, when in fact this isn't true. Bottom paragraph 2. The online article, What a Coronavirus Pandemic Means for Australia, the World, uses language features purposefully to portray the coronavirus in a negative way. This second article was published a month after the previous one and uses language features such as coronavirus pandemic and close to being inevitable, which gives the impression that there is now no hope for people to escape the virus. The information given in the article about the disease, such as what makes the disease more dangerous, is how easily it spreads, and there are people who are walking around who have no idea that have it. Make people frequently conscious that the disease is a silent killer and could be anywhere. This idea creates anxiety, fear, and panic within the public as they worry for their lives. The article has 6 visual structures in the form of images to support the article. One image shows workers wearing protective clothing and spraying disinfectant against coronavirus outside of a church. In South Korea, there is a great contrast in the image between the church, which symbolizes peace, innocence, and safety, and the workers in hazmat suit, which symbolizes death, quarantine, and isolation. Another image which may cause distress to the reader is an image of the coronavirus seen under a microscope. It could be interpreted as a bomb exploding, which is associated with mass destruction, death, and hysteria. As a result, the coronavirus can also be associated with the same outcomes overall. Overall, the online article purposely positions the reader into being scared by using text structures and visual structures to portray the coronavirus to sound a lot worse than it is. Conclusion: it is clear that both online and print media articles make use of fear-mongering tactics in order to manipulate the reader into believing every word that is written. In order to do this successfully, they employ the use of language features, text and visual structures, which convey their message of fear in order to demonstrate how deadly the coronavirus is in the most impactful way. The coronavirus is a clear example of the way the media over-exaggerates a topic, which results in mass hysteria and impacts the economy and tourism of many countries.